Ooh. Check. Hello. Probably. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We will wait for just a moment. Hi there, Mike. How are you doing? You are number one. Just give it a second. Let a few more people get in here before we start the run breakdowns. We're going to give this a go. The first shot at the run breakdowns. Check this out. I even made a thing. Ho, 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 ho. Look at that. Look at that. We're ready. We are ready for run breakdowns. Well, it's my lucky day then, huh? That's funny. That's super awesome. Okay. Well, ooh, hey, look, I even got, I did music. So that you guys can have music this time. Let's see. Thought this song was halfway decent. Right? Not too bad. Not too bad. This'll be our waiting for everyone to get here song. Maybe? I don't know. Pretty much repeats the same thing over and over again now. But you're not going to find anything on the YouTube audio library that doesn't just repeat the same thing over and over again. If you're not in for that, then you're not in for YouTube audio library. Right? See? It improves. It improves. It basically stays at this where it is now for the rest of the time. So, you know, if you're into that. Guys, all right, cool. We got a few here. Enough that I think it's... Hey, man. Everyone's got to do it at some time. So, yeah. Let's give you a little preview, a little sneak preview of what we're looking at first here. Ooh, look at that. Who's this? May be familiar with that truck there. That face may look familiar. We're gonna do a few. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Somewhere in there. That way it's not as obnoxious while I'm talking. That's just going to be really, really quiet now. What is up, Kenny? How you doing? It's good to see you here. Good to see you here. You got to leave it on this so that everyone stays, you know? If you leave it on the thumbnail of Logan. But no, we're going to do a few run breakdowns. We're going to try to. This is going to be kind of interesting. I've never tried doing a live run breakdown. I'm subpar at breaking down runs to begin with, so doing a live run breakdown is going to be interesting, but we're going to give it a go. If you guys like it, definitely let me know your thoughts once we go through this, but I'd love to just kind of gauge everyone's interest in doing live run breakdowns versus having them all be edited and whatnot. I can't imagine that the process itself is going to be all that much different. It seems like it's basically going to be the same exact thing I do for the edits. We're just going to do it live together. So you get to see as I make mistakes. It's going to be fun. But we've got Logan's run here. This is The first 2 runs we're going to break down are going to be from a cash comp that we did a couple weekends ago up in the Uintas. So we have been trying to escape. I, personally, have been trying to escape into the mountains as much as possible. Oh, this is probably looping, isn't it? Oh, no. It's just how long this song is. It's a long one, huh? Let's see if we can... Just really... I don't have a whole lot on my starred playlist here from YouTube. I have no clue what any of this sounds like either. I'm going to go with something cinematic that I decided sounded good at some point. Hello, Rocky Point Crawlers. How you doing? It's good to see you here. So, yeah, we're going to do a few run breakdowns. We've got this one here of Logan's. This is from, like I said, a cash comp up in the Uintas. I've been trying to get up into the mountains as much as I possibly can recently because the mountains are cool and the desert is hot. So we're doing, doing the opposite of what we normally do. I normally flee to the desert, but when it gets too hot, we flee to the mountains. How does it look for everyone? It's like stream quality good, everything looking good. Yeah, this was actually the first time that Kenny did participated in a comp. So that was pretty cool. Did I get you on film, Kenny? I don't know if I did. I think I may have intentionally tried to not be all up in your grill, but that's kind of sad if I didn't. I hope someone at least got some footage from it. Okay, cool. As long as everything looks good, just want to make sure. On my end, I can see like a tiny little version of what you guys are seeing, but it's like 240p, so I have no clue how good this looks. Okay, let's see. All right, we're starting to lose viewers, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, eh? Is this music level going to be good for everyone while I'm talking over it? Like, is everyone going to be able to hear me and seem good? Didn't come in last. There you go, Kenny. There you go. That's all you can ask for. I'm just going to assume that the audio quality is good. If no one says anything, we're just going to imagine that it is. So let's jump right into it, shall we? I've kept the volume kind of low on these videos, so oh yeah, for sure. This where we are out here in the Uintas is some great wilderness, some awesome wilderness. You feel really separated. You feel very like you're in a very remote area, but it's super accessible from Salt Lake. One of the great things about Utah is our accessibility to all of this beautiful nature. And so yeah, just like this is, hour and a half, less than an hour and a half away from Salt Lake. And you get some great crawling. Drops 20 degrees in temperature. You're up at 10,600 feet. It's awesome. What more can you ask for? So we're going to break down Logan's run here first. I thought that there was definitely some interesting stuff going on in this run. This was, I thought, the more difficult of the 2 courses. This was run very similarly to how we run our North versus South, or how we ran the North versus South. So we use the same score sheets as we did from the North versus South. So all of the same kind of penalties and everything apply for winching, reversing, rollovers, repositions. Excuse me. This run was definitely the tougher of the 2 runs, for sure. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. I don't really have much more to say about it. I don't remember how. I want to say that. Oh yeah, I did pretty well through this course, but I had a mechanical breakdown right at gate 4, which really screwed me. But let's see how Logan does here. Definitely some mosquitoes out, so if you see him swatting, that's probably what he's doing. See, can I make it? Boom. Yeah, look at that. There we go. This first gate was nasty because as you crested over the breakover point, it wanted to push you into gate number 1 on that right-hand side, and then once you crested over it, it wanted to bump you into that arrow gate on the lower side. As you can see, that ledge was kind of would push you towards the driver's side. So that's what made gate number 1 nasty. As you can see, the Logan made quick work of that one. Then it was a tight turn into this gate here. You had to kind of cross over this little chasm, but I don't think that really caused any major issues for anyone. And then we were dumping down into this section here, and that happened to so many drivers right there. I think people just misjudged the landing on that one, didn't realize that their front tires, the way they were going to level out, was going to push that rear driver tire into that cone. Happened to probably 90% of the drivers that I watched go through that. So, you know, what are you going to do? This was a Logan special approach. I didn't see anyone do this before this, and I only saw one person try it after it, but he really tried to get super, super high up on the driver's side of this gate and bump his way over once he got the hook with his driver's side front tire. But it just didn't end up working out for him. It was too steep of an incline, so he had to kind of take the more, I guess, the average approach. This was the kind of the more stereotypical approach that people took here, which was just squaring up to the V-notch, which it worked really well. That was kind of the approach that I saw everyone take, and it definitely it seemed to work well. The only problem with it is it definitely put some serious pressure on your servo. I actually ended up, that's where I had my mechanical. I stripped out a steering servo right there, trying to get the hook going through that previous gate. The bonus here, this one is just a hodgepodge of nastiness. I don't know how Logan made this look so easy. You can see the giant hole that he just bumped his way over. I mean, if he would have stayed in that position, if he wouldn't have gotten that lucky of a bounce, I don't know if it would have turned out that well. But it turned out really well for him, and no one was going to ask any questions. Just let it happen, right? This one wasn't a particularly difficult gate. The follow-up from it, or the follow-through on that gate, was definitely not easy because you either had to commit to going square on that chasm or turning out really early to the right. I turned out really early to the right. It worked fine for me. Logan, as you saw, he followed that notch all the way through. That worked fine for him. This gate right here that he just crossed over was just a nasty breakover, so everyone that I saw that bumped through that did totally fine. It was just a little bit of wheel speed to get your skid from, stop your skid from bottoming out on that, and you were totally fine. This was, I think, probably the best approach. I want to say that this is gate number 6. It's probably the best approach to that gate. I did the same thing coming in from up high. It definitely put you at an odd angle coming into it, but overall, I think it was very worth it. As you could see, he was able to drop into it. His front didn't push too far over on the odd angle, and that kept it really nice and composed as he came through that gate. This gate number 7 was one of the nastiest ones. It was just a total bumper eater. So as you can see, as he's coming into it, unless you came into it really, really far on the passenger side and you were at a super, super high angle, you were ending up like this. Now, the thing that Logan did that was different from most is right here. He ended up doing an ass end winch, which I think totally saved him, and this became kind of the theme of the rest of this run. That winch right there was just a killer call. Fantastic call. Pulling that ass end up, getting it away from that 7 cone, and allowing that front end to drop into the crack so that he could kind of ride it as he went through. Perfect idea, and it worked out flawlessly for him, as you can see there. This gate number 8, really the approach to it was just the pain. I didn't see very many people get to this approach without having to take a reverse. As you can see, Logan's taking his reverse there. But yeah, super, super tough in that sense. Other than that, it was a pretty straightforward, just line it up and shoot it through. There were no hang-ups or anything like that. I'm using, in all of this footage, I'm using just an iPhone. This is an iPhone Pro 12, iPhone 12 Pro that I'm doing filming. If you're going to film on an iPhone, 100% purchase the Filmic app on the iPhone. It's 100% worthwhile. The Filmic app gives you such amazing stabilization, and it gives you really, really nice dynamic range, more than you can get in the normal or in the normal camera app. quality dropped a little bit. Of course, the gimbal starts freaking out here, so I have to just hand stabilize it. This bonus gate, nothing special either, but you did have to bump through it. As you can see, his skid there is just super, super dropping. I think part of the reason for the quality drop off may be a level of viewership. As I get more concurrent viewers, it starts to drop the quality. I'm not sure about that. As far as I can tell, I'm streaming at the highest quality I can, so we'll see. Hopefully it turns out well. Gimbal is totally freaking out, as per usual. Can't have a high noon video without the gimbal freaking out. If I was to say anything about my filming setup, it's maybe don't get the older Osmo 3. Maybe consider getting the Osmo 4. I think that's the newest one. And now here at this gate, we're going to pull the same thing he did before. So we're going to go to a frame rail with the winch. Just keep this rear tire from dipping into that gate 10. And the tension was perfect. I don't think he could have planned that better. I think it was just kind of luck had it that tension was absolutely perfect. It placed his rear end right where it needed to as the front dropped off that ledge. Now he's got the same problem here. This one, as you're coming off, you're bottoming out on your skid plate, and that's causing the truck to want to do exactly what it's doing, slide over towards the 10 gate and even past it. I honestly don't even remember what he does here to save it. I think, yeah, ends up upside down, does a perfect Logan recovery as you typically do, and then he is squared up for it here. And is he going to do another one? Yeah, he's going to do another one. So this is the third winch that he's done on the rear end of his truck during this run. I don't think he did a single front winch. I think he did 3 rear winches on this run. See if that works out for him on gate 10. I don't remember. It's not looking like it's going to. Oh, look at that. Couldn't have planned for it better. Winch gets hooked around the tire, so he's going to undo it right now. Doesn't really matter on time because this is gate 10. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very clean run. That was a very clean run. Let me know what you guys think. One of the things that I think I really liked, one of the things I'm going to do at my comps or start doing at my comps is the winch stick with a dynamic winch attached to it, so that even if you don't have a winch on your truck, you can still use the dynamic winch. I think that's an awesome idea. That's Cameron. I don't know if that was originally Cameron from up north. I don't know if that was originally his idea or not, but either way, that's kind of who I initially saw doing that. Great idea. And then it allows for cool stuff like that, where you've got, you've got a dynamic winch that you can kind of do whatever you want and put it on any of your hard points. Makes it a little bit more of a dynamic winch in multiple ways, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's jump into this next run. Is this so this may be the second course. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be the second course that we did here. And this is, so I kind of didn't do this on purpose, but I'm glad I did. This will show you both of the class 2 courses that we ran during this cash comp. So you get an idea of what both types of courses would look like. I told you that course that we just watched Logan go through looked like or it seemed like the more difficult of the 2 courses. So now we're going to watch Dustin go through what I kind of perceived as the easier of the 2 courses. Does not by any means mean that this is a easy course, but it could be easier than the first course that we just watched. If you guys don't know Dustin, I kind of forgot to introduce Logan. At times I feel like he doesn't need much of an introduction in this community, but that was Logan from West Desert Wheeler in the previous course. And this here is Dustin from D's company. He makes D's bands. So if you're unfamiliar with those are the elastic bands that you see riding below his shocks there. And those are a super awesome product for those who are looking for a cheap and easy solution to really dial in your suspension. So I would definitely recommend checking those out. I told him to do that bail. I feel very responsible for that because I totally told him to do that bail, and I don't think he would have committed to that if I didn't tell him to. He was totally going to reverse out of that, and I was like, no, man, I did the bail. It worked fine for me. But he knew he didn't have enough wheel speed to get that done. And I peer pressured Dustin into that one. So I apologize, Dustin. That's totally my fault. He is in a nasty position here where his rear driver is about to hit that cone, obviously, and it at that point wants to start pushing you away from it, but not as much as he needs. And as you can see, every time he's coming up and over this ledge, it's pushing him further towards the number 1 cone. So there's really no winning. You have to hit this thing pretty perfectly. And unfortunately, I think that he has a winch issue here, and he has to end up going for the dynamic winch. Yeah, so he wasted a little bit of time there. I think I was actually watching, because I could see it from underneath the body there, that his winch was just totally mangled. It was super, super like bunched up, and I knew by the time he went for the dynamic winch, I knew there was no way that he was getting that other winch out. So again, another great example of why you want that dynamic winch attached to the winch stick, so that in situations like this, this competitor literally had a winch, and the winch just ended up malfunctioning before he was able to use it. Big bummer, but much less of a bummer considering he had the dynamic winch option as a backup. Gate number 2, another drop that is pretty straightforward. That one was more straightforward than the drop on the previous course, because the base of that drop was very square with the actual cliffside. So it made it a lot more manageable. It didn't kick your rear end one way or the other as you made contact with the base of that drop. This one here, I didn't really see a great way to do this. I kind of tried to emulate what Dustin was doing there initially, which was coming over on the far left-hand side of this gate and then working your way over from driver side to passenger side. But I ended up doing the exact same thing that Dustin did right here, which is as soon as I got that driver's side tire kind of up onto that ledge, it started pushing me and pushing me until I was basically squared with this V-notch. And then at that point, I did the same thing Dustin did, just winched up to it. And I thought that was probably the better way to do it. You know what? What am I saying? This is totally the first course. This is just a different angle that we've seen of every gate for first course. So it looks totally different. Isn't that funny? I don't know if any of you got, no one said anything to me. So I don't know if anyone caught it. This is totally first course. I'm just looking now at the background, and I can tell. And this bonus gate is the first super differentiating gate between these two courses because it's got the massive hole. As you can see, this is what I would have expected. This is what I would have expected Logan's truck to do when Logan squared up to that. I mean, these two drivers basically squared up to that bonus gate like almost the same way, but it worked out fine for Logan. And then for Dustin, he ended up like one wheel basically under the cliffside. It's like, that's why I was saying about Logan's run, like just that lucky bump, he ended up in just the right spot. I don't think he could have ended up in a better spot. So Dustin, of course, uses the winch to get through there. Again, the easy gate, I think he does the early turnout. Yeah, so you can see there he does the early turnout. Both of those, either the ride through the crack or the early turnout, were both viable options. Either one of those worked. And the bump, you can see him use a little bit of wheel speed there to get over the breakover angle. Not a problem. And I think that, so Dustin's going to try to take the lower approach, and you can start to see why that's so problematic. It's just really scraggly and nasty. It's a little bit in the shadows there, which is unfortunately, you can't quite see just how bad it is. But yeah, that was definitely a much rougher approach than taking that upper angle. The upper angle, I would say, was just a little bit maybe riskier. It definitely does sometimes come down to luck. That's for sure. There are gates that I've seen the same person run in the same truck under the same conditions and totally different outcomes. So here you can see why Logan's winch worked so well. And I think, maybe Dustin learned from Logan, or maybe vice versa, but Dustin's actually going to use this D-ring and do a butt winch here. Now, that right there, iffy sometimes in a really, really formal competition, if you pull your winch and before you actually use your winch, your vehicle moves, that could be considered a reposition. In the way that we play it, that being just kind of the fault of the dynamic line there, we didn't call that a reposition by any means. That was just a winch. But just so that you're aware, that is something to consider. If the truck is under so much load, so much tension that it moves right as soon as you put the winch on, could be considered a little iffy. So you can see no problem with the bonus gate. We're going to head into the one that everyone that I saw had to turn on. I believe Dustin had to turn on this one as well, although he is pushing it much further out to the side. But once you make that turn, there's just really no good way to square up to the actual obstacle without making the reverse. So that was pretty much universal. Everyone that I saw having to do that reverse through here. Now this is where I think Dustin had a bit cleaner of a line than Logan did, coming up much higher to the arrow cone and just using that little notch to keep his body from sliding over anymore. And you can see he didn't end up needing to use a winch here to get through, and he was close, but he did get through that clean. Let's see how 10 is. This is a brutal one. So you can see he's trying to get that driver's side tire. He was, at least, trying to get that driver's side tire to make contact with the lower face of that second ledge or that lower ledge. If he was able to do that, he could have stopped this kind of torsional twisting from happening. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to make contact with that ledge before he bellied out. And so the skid started kind of taking direction from the rear wheels more than the front wheels at that point. So same thing there. He's going to use a rear winch, a rear end winch, but he's actually taking it from a different angle than Logan did. And you see that it ended up working out really well for him. So I thought that was pretty great. Both of those really awesome runs. And guys, that's 2 run breakdowns. How are we all feeling right now? Let's bring it back to here so you guys don't have to just stare at files. Not that this is any better. It's not files, so. I thought that was pretty fun to do it live. It definitely keeps me a little bit more on my toes. It's hard to, it was a little bit hard at the beginning there to tell those 2 courses apart. The first 2 gates really looked pretty similar. So, sorry about that. Hope that you guys are all enjoying your weekends. Is it a long weekend for you guys? Is anyone got a long weekend? Is that just that's just a Utah thing? So that's basically going to be asking how many people here are from Utah. Okay, so I've got one more file. I have one more run to review, and this is an interesting one. Let's see if anyone can pin this to a particular time and place. See if anyone knows when I click on this. Let's see, I'll give a little bit more. What are weekdays? See, that is the right attitude. That's the right attitude right there. Check out some of our footage in Southern Oregon when I get a chance. See, this is another thing that I haven't even thought about, is we could do, we can like break down, depending on how people feel about it, other YouTubers crawling footage and just see like how we feel about it. So that could be a little bit interesting as well. Sorry, I'm checking out Rocky Point crawlers right now. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, Rocky Point crawlers, boom, got that subscription added right now. Oh, it's pretty good. Maybe I shouldn't show this, because if I show this, then it's it could be. Wait, is this licensed music? Are you about to screw me right now? Is that what's gonna happen? I trust you. I just don't trust you. Not my music. Ooh, see, I'm scared about this, but we're gonna just turn that down. How about that? This is sweet. This footage looks good. What are you using to film? This looks solid. I like the focus. Maybe I shouldn't be showing this though, because now people are gonna know that there's like way better footage out there than mine for sure. Mute it? Okay, I'll mute it. I don't think, I doubt, like, there's probably no way YouTube's gonna notice that, but either way. This is sweet, man. And that is a gorgeous looking rig. I love me some hard body. It's a good time. This is kind of how my channel started. It was just like this. Well, not just like this. Yours is better. But I did a video of just my TF2 going through the... see an iPhone 13? Yeah, it's all about the iPhones, man. That looks better than my iPhone. Maybe it really is time to upgrade. If you do use an iPhone 13, though, definitely check out Filmic if you haven't yet. I think it's like $20 or something like that. But super worth it for the quality of footage you get. But this is dope. Like, are you controlling this zoom manually, or is this automatic? The bug and the highlights are mine. Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, this, and then this also feels very much like my... Whoa, wait, servo and axle? What? What is happening on the underside of this truck? That's some interesting stuff going on under there. Some very interesting stuff. Ooh, I like that too. That looks good. A lot of servo on axle hidden underneath real bodies. Very interesting. Very interesting. Dude, I dig the footage. Guys, it's definitely worth checking out. Rocky Point crawlers. 100% worth checking out. You're going to blow up, man. That won't take much time at all. That will not take much time at all. Okay, we're going to give you a little more context here. How about right there? Oh, yeah, that's good. That looks good. I should have just stopped it right on the glitch and made you try to guess here. Can anyone guess where this is from? There's been a lot of footage released of this exact run, just not Logan doing this run, I don't think. So, guesses? Anyone? You can see we've got a Utah County crawler. Oh, sorry, I guess I gotta use my mouse. We got a Utah County crawler foot set right there. It looks like we got a Ginger Demon. We got a Scumbag RC foot right here / leg. We got Logan West Desert Wheeler right here. Yeah, there we go. This is the North vs South comp. Yep. Yeah, this is the grudge match from the North vs South finals, and anyone that was there knows we are not going to play the audio from this one. Pair one is a good guess, but this is all the right people are here for sure. And this is Dustin. We got some D's Company feet. We just got all the feet, man. This is all the famous feet in one video or in one thumbnail. Okay, well, the run has already started, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to back it up and let's go again. But yes, we, like I said, we're not going to use the audio from this run, or you're not going to be able to hear it very well. That's intentional. If you were there, you kind of know why we're not using the audio from the grudge match. It got a little feisty. This gate was a nasty one, but it really wasn't all that difficult until you got through it and you had to make that turn. Now for Logan, not a huge issue because he's got that throttle control down to where he can do that rear wheel traction braking. So not a big deal. But for some competitors, that could be a huge hindrance trying to make a turn that tight. Now, if you guys, this video quality is going to get better, but because we're going to turn the lights on here in a second. But for now, you're going to have to bear with me. This was the gate that destroyed everyone, pretty much everyone. And I don't think anyone got through it cleanly. And as you can see, Logan almost makes it through that gate cleanly. The only reason that he did, though, is we spent a good amount of time. Sorry to ruin your see, and he still doesn't make it through clean. But the only reason that he got 3 tires up like that is because we spent a good amount of time really cleaning off that ledge for him before he got over there. But sorry to ruin that for you, Logan. This gate wasn't particularly nasty. It was really just the vertical, keeping planted. That was just a test of how well planted your truck was. Zach blowing the line off for Logan. Yeah, we can. Oh, it's not on this desktop. That'll be a little bonus piece of footage. Anyone who's interested, look out on the story, the Insta story. We'll post the video of Zach blowing the line off. It's pretty hilarious. You just see how planted this truck is as it's going through this stuff. I mean, the fact that he was able to keep grip and that his truck didn't push to the passenger side as he was coming up that. Very, very well composed truck. But basically everyone had troubles with this section right here. And he made that look like a piece of cake. Now he's got to turn down and come down this super, super nasty descent. And he actually comes down it forward. I saw a few competitors go down that backwards. He came down that forward. A little riskier, but saved some time. And a reverse. It definitely was a great trip, Kenny. You were missed. We were sad you weren't there with us. This was definitely one for the books. That arrow on this one is very wrong, because you are supposed to be going up it. He is not incorrect in his approach here. This one also crushed a few competitors' chances at the podium. This, just like that. Luckily for Logan, he ended up back on his rubber side down, which is, I guess, the more you say that. Maybe I just have to say that all the time. Maybe the more you say that, the more often you land rubber side down. Wonder if that... I'm going to start testing that theory. We'll see how it goes. A much better approach the second time. He gets the hook on that passenger front. Once you get the hook on the passenger front, it's all about just hopefully not wedging that passenger rear. But his didn't push at all. It just climbed right over that ledge. Now, here is where Logan decided to try to be even more ballsy. This was the spot that everyone drove backwards down. Logan is the only person, I think, maybe, did Jace? Those of you, Mike, do you remember? Did Jace go forward down this line as well? Or was it just Logan in this grudge match? I know that he was one of very few, if not the only. But as you can see, this is the reason why many people just chose to reverse down this line as opposed to doing what Logan's doing right now, because this is not ideal. You're now on a incredibly nasty side hill with your weight bias totally against you. Jace did go backwards. Yeah. Well, for good reason. This is not looking great for Logan. And technically speaking, since that bystander did in fact, I won't call you out, but since it did in fact touch the truck, technically speaking, that would be a reposition. But we're gonna put the truck back up there anyways. The landing from that fall was just scraggle and bush. There was no way. There was no way that you were gonna get back up to a competitive spot in any reasonable amount of time. Now, this was, again, Logan just kind of trying all of the sketchy lines, seeing if he can shave points off and shave time off of everyone. And Dustin, of course. This is where things got a little feisty. Oh, won't lie. Things got a little feisty in the Grudge match. Truck stays composed through the drop on 9, which is impressive, but then disaster strikes. And we're back into a very, very nasty predicament, made even worse by the fact that, if you guys remember, there's a boundary line right about where Dustin is standing. Just a little bit in front of Dustin's feet, I believe. Yo, almost. And he makes it back upright, but he is facing downwards instead of upwards the way he needs to go. So he's going to make a nice big loop-de-loop. Come down on the far side of 9, and I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening right now. We just have to make loops until we can get back to. All right, okay, I'll take it. He's taking another approach at gate 9. A completely different approach off to the side. I like this. Stays composed. Has to take a backup so he doesn't hit his bumper. Now he's trying not to hit that boundary line. He's going to take another reverse not to hit the boundary line. And we've got some nice flex going on here. And through clean. This gate here was really a commitment gate. You just had to commit to this. It was going to feel like the whole time, this gate was going to feel like you were going to fall off this rock. But if you just committed, if you stayed committed to it, you'd pull right through just like that. That's the end of that run there. And guys, that's all three runs that I put up on this hard drive so we could take a look at. I got to save some stuff for later. I wanted to make sure that we got a good diversity of stuff, though. So hopefully we're all feeling satisfied and smiling after that experience. Get to enjoy that together. This one just a little bit longer than the last. I think the last video, or the last live stream we did, we just went a little bit over 30 minutes. Now we're closer to 45. That was kind of what I was hoping for, about 15 or so per breakdown, including padding and whatnot. But definitely let me know what you guys think about the live run breakdowns. If you guys enjoy it, if you want to see something different about it, if you'd rather me run like a timer or actually break down scores. Things can get a little bit more complicated than I might want them to be for a live stream, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to give it a go, for sure. If you guys want to see that type of stuff, I'm more than happy to play around with that. I realized my music stopped a while ago. I don't have like a composed playlist from the YouTube audio library, but I do. I've just kind of chosen a few. Like, what is this? This is another dramatic one that I chose. But I really appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your Sunday to enjoy some runs with me. I wish that I had, let's see. This is the fun stuff, is I've got like archives on here. We don't really have as much of like the new runs that nobody's seen. Although there's probably some runs that nobody's seen on here. Like, let's go back in time for a moment. This was, man, this is like when I started getting into RC. Just to give you an idea, this is November 11th of 2021. Oh, man. Who remembers this? Good times. Good times. Definitely don't recommend $400 worth of brass, or $300 or $200, even $100. That may have been some of the first actual footage that I took. We got November 30th. The old Bronco Back before I knew at all what I was doing or filming. It was a lot of brass. It was a lot of brass. Like the live run breakdowns. That's awesome. Good to hear it. Fun breakdown. Sweet. Okay. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. I'll definitely try to kind of improve the quality as we go. I want every video to be better than the last. But, boy, I don't know what's going on with that glitchiness. I wonder if that... I think that might be just the video player. Oh, you guys... maybe it isn't. Maybe it is the exposure. Yeah, man, the Bronco. I love getting the Bronco out. I'd love to get it out more. I see this is the downside of having too many trucks. You get to a point where you have too many trucks, and then you can't take out, like, this is... I love the Bronco. I love this truck. It's not as capable as my other trucks, which is why it never comes out anymore. It's just like, you know, it's not... when you got a comp rig and a Phoenix and all this other stuff that, you know... It's hard to enjoy technical rock crawling on a less technical or in a less technically inclined truck, you know? So that's a piece of it. And then you just feel obligated to get all your trucks out, but then swapping through the trucks is never as easy as it seems. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the optimal number of trucks to have? You just need more trucks? I don't know, man. I've got trucks. We got trucks that I haven't even touched yet that I still need to work on. We got projects that aren't even built yet. Battle of the Heavyweights. Dude. Cameron. I like this idea. I like this. I'm at 4 and it's not enough. Okay, 2. Yeah. 2 seems like I think 2 seems pretty reasonable. You know, like comp and trail, right? 11. 11. These were good times for sure. I don't remember for sure where this is. But I am already missing my 4. That happens so fast. This is footage from November. Those stickers were on for like a week. I thought that it took me some time. Ooh, dear. Ooh, dear. Got to do a little camera push to get up there. See, right? Like, Mike, how does your brain not hurt when you have to decide between all of those trucks? I guess you don't really, you have more niche trucks. You have some specific trucks for different things. So that kind of helps a little bit, you know? That definitely helps a little bit. 12/18, getting around Christmas time. I don't know what I'm naming my premiere projects here. Oh, hey, this is the Capra. This is the day that the everything was dying, all the batteries were dying, the camera was freezing. This is out in West Wendover, and it was cold as a mofo out there this day. It was super pretty though. Who's coming to Crawlapalooza in October at Disney, Oklahoma? In October. Isn't that? When is Proline by the Fire happening? Oh! I spilled items. Guys. I spilled items. It actually wasn't bad at all, but now I'm scared. Anytime anything gets close to electronics, I just get so scared. What was I looking up? Oh, yeah. Fire 2022. October 6th. Yeah. So, I know that I already have my Proline by the Fire tickets. That's all I know about that. Dude, I got some liquids. Oh, man. That's super funny. Oh, it's everywhere. Very pretty, this West Wendover stuff. Very pretty. I tried doing voiceover or like live stuff, but the audio got all screwed up. That's the one downside of filming on the iPhone. One downside. That's one of many downsides, but that's certainly a big downside, is that you definitely have problems with audio quality. Yeah, dude, we definitely have some sweet spots in the Salt Lake region. You know, northern Utah, southern Utah, Utah in general. But there's beautiful areas everywhere. You just got to be dedicated to getting out and going to some of them. Sometimes it's tough. I put thousands of miles on my car every month going to some of these spots. But it is what it is to enjoy some crawling time with the homies. You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. We got a lot of dirt. Yeah, you know, it definitely not every state has the best of crawling, but that's when you get into building your own courses and stuff like that, right? That's when that stuff becomes a little bit more fun. Do like some backyard courses and whatnot. But yeah, you definitely it's hard to compete. Like, I think this was Sand Hollow, right? I only got 3 videos from Sand Hollow. Yeah, it's like hard to compete with this type of stuff. For sure. Oh, speaking of my favorite truck, the only reason that you guys haven't seen the Marlin Crawler in a while is because I need body posts for it. I literally haven't had time to even put body posts on the Marlin yet. Isn't that sad? Goodness, I love this truck, though. Love watching the Marlin Crawler on the trail. So much fun. Some scumbagginess. Is that Mr. Doc? Mr. Doc over there. This was a beautiful day. This was we went down to Sand Hollow for the first of the year. Little New Year's celebration down in Sand Hollow. All right, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole there. That's what happens. You see a video. I mean, we could literally do this for an entire hour-long stream. We could just look at old footage of places that I've been to in the past. I mean, this is all of these folders here. It's just in the past few months. This actually isn't even in the past few months. This is from November of last year to March, basically, of last year. And then I've got all the other newer stuff on my other computer. Once the heat starts to pass, Wendover sounds fantastic. I would love to go back out there. Definitely a beautiful, beautiful spot. Horrible idea, Cam. With some brutal honesty or just brutality. I don't know which. From Valley Falls, NY. Hello, Raymond. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up on an hour, so I'm out of runs to watch and break down, at least for now. I got to sort through some more if we want to do that, but we can definitely do that soon. Otherwise, I really appreciate you guys joining me here. Any last minute thoughts, comments, questions, anything like that, drop them down below before we head out. Appreciate y'all being here. Y'all been a great audience. I'll be here all week. Just kidding. I won't. I don't do the more. That's not a question. I guess that's a comment. So fair. it fits in the purview. We'll do more soon, but we've got some things to do, some lines to crawl, mostly some cleaning to do. Unfortunately, when you go crawling every single weekend, then you have to catch up on stuff like that eventually. It's unfortunate. Let's go back here for the finale. Guys, there's definitely beer in my keyboard. Definitely a little bit of beer in my keyboard. Not much, just a little bit. Right? So, I guess I'll start cleaning with that. Cleaning mud is definitely no fun. I have some cleaning to do. Jeez, oh Pete. That frickin'... Whoa. That was almost bad. That frickin' comp down by the river. The nuke comp down by the river, Cameron. That you weren't even there. Just kidding. I was sad that you weren't there, but I also enjoyed myself immensely. I just broke my truck and got it really muddy. So we got some cleaning to do on that guy for sure. If you're wondering what broke, that is what broke. Supposed to, do the locky. We lost a pin on that one. And now I am totally covered in dirt, and my keyboard has beer and dirt in it. Thank you, Cameron. I really appreciate you, your support, your knowledge, everything you do as well. You're a great guy. You're all great, great people. Very great people. Need to get the 6x6 out, just finished building. Definitely, man. 6x6s are where it's at. I think Mike's going to have a 6x6 up for sale here soon. I'll shout that one out. Oh, hey, before we go, let's do, this is for a cause, right? Where is, can I share this with anyone, Mike? This money for Mia thing? Have one for the next Thursday comp. Ooh, you are so kind. I definitely need a hex pin. I probably need a bag of them, or should have a bag of them at this point. Anyone and everyone. Sweet. Okay, I think anyone can see this. I think. This right here. First I want to make sure receiving donations directly. I think anyone can see this. I'm going to post a link to it. Oh, I shouldn't do that though. I should do that. I should do this. And I should do this. And this and this. Guys, if you have a moment, if you have $1 to spare, Mike, his lovely pupperooski, Mia here, as you can see, with her pretty face. She's having some leg problems. So if you have the ability to donate, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Can I grab the link for this? I guess I could just do this. Yeah, maybe. Tell me if this works. Let me know if this works. I don't know if that will work, but if it does, we're trying to raise some money for Mia so she can get her leg fixed. And she's a super happy pup. She's a great pup. Mike and his wife, they've got 2 lovely pup children, It did work? Okay, sweet. They've got 2 lovely Paparuski children, and we're trying to help Mia get feeling a little bit better so she can be bouncing around like the crazy pup that she is again. So go ahead and check this out if you guys have the time or if you have any ability to donate. Every penny matters, and we'd all really appreciate it. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys on there. I think that this is a good way to wrap the stream up. Absolutely, Mike. Definitely anything I can do to help. And we're all about making sure that everyone is ready for the next RC crawling hike. And we include Mia in that. We want to make sure she's ready for the next RC crawling hike. So go ahead and check that link out, guys. I'm going to throw it down in the description as well, just so that we've got it there, but it's in the chat right now. You see. And like I said, if you have any ability to help, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll leave you guys there. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend if you've got it. If not, try not to work too hard tomorrow. Enjoy your Monday. And we'll see y'all guys soon. Appreciate you being here. Okay, love you, bye.